Everybody wants to get rich. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't fit into that category. I like money. Cryptocurrency has introduced a way for this to become a reality for many, but people often get blindsided by the potential to get rich and don't often take into consideration the things that can go wrong when investing in this incredibly volatile asset class. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I'm going to hopefully be bringing you back down to earth by giving you some insight into what the potential risks when investing into cryptocurrency are and what you should be thinking about before dumping your life savings into this incredibly volatile asset. Just as a quick recap, I'm currently running a giveaway, which should be ending in a couple of videos towards the end of March, where I'll be giving away $100 worth of Bitcoin. So if you would like to enter into that, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below of what your favorite cryptocurrency is and why on any of the videos I've released over the last month for Crypto Month. So yeah, if you'd like to enter, details are in the description, go have a look down there. The first thing that I want to touch on in today's video is rate of return. Many people believe that there are trends and patterns that can be followed to determine the rise and fall of the market. I am here to say that I strongly disagree with this mindset. This is my opinion, and it is that I still believe investing in cryptocurrency today is exactly the same as gambling. There is neither enough data or credibility in cryptocurrency to put a long-term investment strategy in place. If I or anyone actually knew where the price of these coins and tokens were going to go, they would probably be a multi-millionaire multiple times over for investing in cryptocurrency by this point, and it would continue to follow that trend into the future. It's not obvious where and how the market is going to move. This is not something to take lightly. I know lots of people who have blindly invested into random cryptocurrencies, and I have to admit, I myself have made similar investments with some of my picks. The difference is that my mentality towards that investment and my preparation of my financial situation towards that investment has been in a manner that I fully expect it to decrease in value, and if it does, I will be absolutely okay with that occurring. Whereas I have noticed a certain stigma with some people, and that is that they kind of expect it to only go up and have not really taken into consideration that the overall investment they made could be reduced to a fraction, if not hit zero, of what they initially invested. Meaning they've done no mental preparation whatsoever for that to actually happen. And I don't even know if they are financially able to be making these investments as well. We talk about having an emergency fund and no debts and things like that before investing. And this is something that I don't know if all of these people, I don't know if they're in that situation. So it's something definitely to consider when investing, and especially into something like cryptocurrency. This leads me to my second point of understanding just how volatile the cryptocurrency market is. In January of 2017, the price of a single Bitcoin was about $900 USD. By December of that exact same year, so December 2017, the price of a single Bitcoin was 19,000 US dollars. So let's do some quick maths. If you had purchased about 50 Bitcoin for about 50,000 US dollars in January of that year, and then sold them later in December, you would have sold your investment for close to $1 million, which is unfathomable. That type of growth in a single year for an investment like that is crazy. This type of volatility in cryptocurrency still exists today. It is not something that you could fully prepare yourself to experience yourself. Now, the example that I just gave is what I would call the best case scenario. It is the happy ending for investing into such a volatile asset. It's a good type of volatility. What I failed to mention was if you decided to hold that investment, or even worse, if you bought into that investment when it was $19,000 at the end of 2017 and held it until the end of 2018, the same time period, you would have seen your investment reduced by about 85%, which would leave me sitting in a corner absolutely crying and bawling my eyes out. The word volatility gets thrown out there a lot, but it is something that needs to be drilled into your brain, that it is worth understanding and considering if you are someone who is not risk savvy, someone who's not risk adverse, someone who worries about these types of things, who would find yourself constantly checking it. It's something to absolutely get your head around before making any type of investment, but especially large investments into cryptocurrency. Number 3 on my list is something that you should definitely be wary of, and that is that ignorance makes you vulnerable. I want you to be completely honest. I want you to actually think about this. If I asked you to walk up to a random stranger or even someone you knew and try to explain what it is that the project you have invested into is trying to accomplish and how they're doing it, and provide some information about the actual team, any information whatsoever, would you be able to do it in a way that makes sense for any of the cryptocurrencies that you're invested in? There are many rules that people follow when investing. Some are just rules of thumb, some are pretty good, solid rules that are worth investing to give you the best chance to make a good investment. One that I quite like, this is a rule of thumb, one that I quite like is that you have no business investing into something that you cannot explain yourself, especially if you can't even explain it in simple terms. If you can't give me a very brief explanation of what it is that you're investing into, you probably shouldn't be investing into it. Cryptocurrency is not a simple topic. Each project is unique in its own way, and even though there is an abundance of information about them out there, they are often confusing, and I would say their descriptions are pretty wordy. This is exactly why I pump this in all of my videos. It is so important to do your own research and come to your own conclusions, because doing this research and learning about these topics from different information sources, whether it be websites, YouTube videos, the actual crypto pages that these projects set up, you get a whole bunch of knowledge that basically consolidates and gives you an understanding of the fundamentals of the project, what they're trying to achieve as a team, who's working behind it, what they have achieved so far. It's all relevant. And from that, it gives you the best opportunity to invest in a project worthwhile investing into. And the last thing to cover on my list today as part of this video is having a plan. Like I said at the start of this video, most people kind of FOMO into the market. They have a fear of missing out. They freak out and they go, oh my God, the price of Bitcoin is multiplied 10 times and I haven't had the chance to invest in it yet. I'm gonna buy into it now. And then they're the ones that kind of lose their pants. Generally, the people who watch the news and read the paper and they see that, oh, Bitcoin's multiplied by this much, and then they decide to invest, generally they're the people receiving that information last. They are kind of mass media, mainstream media are so far behind in reporting on these types of things that it just causes people to get involved at a time that could not be worse. I don't want to scare anyone, but I want you to be aware of it, that having a plan and having an understanding before doing this is something that could stop you from investing into a cryptocurrency at the worst possible time. The plan that you put in place should be outlined something like this. The first thing you need to decide is how much money you're willing to invest and how often you're willing to invest it. This money could come from many different locations, from many different points. Essentially, you could work a second job to have money specifically allocated for investing in crypto. You could use extra buffer money, bonus money. I'm just listing things. If you have money to invest and you know where it's coming from, great. That's the money you're going to use to invest. Now, how frequently? You could dollar cost average in. There's a very popular method to invest into the asset. It gives you diversification. It gives you time in the market versus trying to time the market. Another good example is kind of what I do with some of my investments, which is the pump and forget, or the dump and forget method, where I'll have a lump sum every year. I just say I'm investing this much every year. I pick what I'm going to invest into and I just put it in there at the same point once a year, and I forget about it. And if it grows, it grows. If not, oh well. The overall point here is figuring out how you're going to approach this investment. The second thing to put in place is to get an idea of how you're going to deal with movement in the market. This is a mental thing, something that you can prepare for by saying, if it goes down 20% tomorrow, I am not going to sell it. If it goes up 20% tomorrow, I am not going to sell it. Just working through the idea of change in a positive or negative manner and just mentally preparing yourself for that moment is a big deal. It's something that I highly recommend you do, something you really think out, because if you're not risk adverse, if you worry about these types of things, it could cause you to essentially and unfortunately have a mental breakdown when you see everything tank. If Bitcoin went back down to $10,000 tomorrow, there would be a lot of people crying, a lot of people sitting in a corner crying. mentally prepare yourself for this type of thing to happen. It has happened before. Who's to say that it won't happen again? And finally, you should put in place an exit strategy. If your portfolio were to rise 100% tomorrow, that is a significant gain. With cryptocurrency and its volatility, you should consider taking profits at some point. I myself like to take my initial investment plus about 30% of the investment on investments that I make, including in cryptocurrency, minus one in particular being VeChain. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but go check out my other videos if you're interested in why I'm doing that. But I will take up to 30% of the profits just so I'm always in the green. I can then use that money to reinvest and not have to worry about losing my entire investment from the very beginning. I've seen a lot of my investments grow over the past year now, pretty much, but in recently the last couple of months, and it's been very tempting to take out all of it and sell a lot of it, but I've chosen not to. But the point is I have taken some profits. And with that being said, you should probably consider doing the same. Have a plan in place. And obviously you can adjust this plan as you go, but just having it from the initial stages of you making that investment, it is going to put you in a much better financial position, mental position, when you see the market tank and bounce back consistently for periods of time. The takeaway from today's video is that you should not only look at the positives of investing into cryptocurrency, such as the market going absolutely crazy and you making a shit ton of money, and people like me and other content creators, because I know they do it, because I know they want likes and they want you to watch their videos, they push content that's all hype and all excitement and rarely deep dives into why you should be a little bit wary about investing into cryptocurrency. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be aware that there are bad things that come with making these types of investments. And in the recent months, there's been a lot of growth. A lot more people have come online to see what it's all about, try and get involved. And I just want to bring you back down to earth and say, be aware of this. If you've watched this video to this point, seriously, like, good job, because you should take at least one or two things from it moving forward, and it should give some insight into when you're thinking and how you're thinking about investing into cryptocurrency. Please also just remember that I am by no means a financial advisor, and everything talked about in this video was not meant to serve as financial advice. Always do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and only invest money you are willing to lose, because investing is a scary thing. You're never guaranteed to make money when investing. With that being said though, I hope you did find something useful in this video. I hope that it was insightful. Realistically, it's a bit of a more negative topic, but if you did watch it, like, seriously, good on you. So yeah, I hope you did get something out of it. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications. It really does help the channel grow, and I appreciate the support. With that being said, have a good day, have a good week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.